Hello! Gurus! We all love them. They're all fantastic people. Many in history have come along our ways, such as Jesus, Tony Robbins, and Gary Vee. Not many compare to the Lord and Savior, because there's the Word of God, but still. Anyway, we're talking about Jay Shetty, the author, life coach, and speaker, with a social media following count in the millions, including the likes of Prerna Chopra, Jennifer Aniston, J-Lo, and hundreds of other celebrities. But a recent article in The Guardian has raised questions on the credibility of Shetty and his Shetty business, who calls himself a monk. He studied in business he claims is based on knowledge he gained while studying with monks in India, not like Ace Ventura, but with actual monks. His sprawling self-help empire has engaged everyone from Michelle Obama to Kim Kardashian to Matt Damon, and of course Gwyneth Paltrow, the Goop founder with Vagina Candles. His YouTube channel has averaged 3 million views per month and almost 5 million subs. His podcast, On Purpose, has 2.6 million subs and 14 million views per month. His books, including Think Like a Monk, 8 Rules of Love, not 9 or 10, just 8, and life-changing quotes. By the end of that book, your life will be changed, in small print. Over a few years ago, Shetty bought an $8.4 million home, at one time listed for $10.5 million, more than $6 million more than what original owner paid for in 2003. The modern villa includes a main guest house and boasting 8 suite bedrooms, plus an additional 3 half baths, across 6,000 square feet over the Hollywood Hills. Such a monk way, I would say, owning that big of a mansion, but one's to their own. He owns a video production company, a tea brand, a talent agency, and a school as well. The report from Guardian said Shetty is hardly the first self-help guru to embellish his spiritual credentials to amass following, but he demands huge sums of money from his guidance. You know, from the petty people, to pay for his living. In 2020, Shetty founded the Jay Shetty Certificate School, an online learning platform for becoming an accredited life coach. Instead of psychology or a doctorate, you can become a life coach, only at a small price range. It claims to provide a level 7 diploma, which is equivalent to a master's degree in the UK. A 2024 investigation into Shetty's career by The Guardian found that the school made misleading claims of being of equal, regulated, and in progression or arrangements with the University of Chester, as well as several other UK universities. Following the investigation, the website was altered to correct some of these claims. Doesn't seem suspicious at all. Marketing professor William Keep of the College of New Jersey has likened the school's business model to a MLM, or a multi-level marketing scheme, as many students are encouraged to recoup the $7,400 tuition cost by starting their own life coach training center. Such a monk way of giving money to the one person who is supposed to be spiritual. With his work, do you find he lives as a charitable person, such as Mr. Beast? For example, according to the Beast Philanthropy website, Donaldson, or Mr. Beast, has donated more than 5.5 million pounds of food, delivered more than 4.5 million meals, and fed nearly 300,000 people. In 2022, Donaldson donated $3 million in aid for Ukraine refugees. He also helped people with eye disorders to see, and deaf people to hear. However, some critics have questioned Donaldson's motive and ethics. Users on social media, of course, of all the people on Earth who have something to say behind a screen, accused Donaldson of exploiting poverty for views and deemed his content charity porn. Whether or not he's getting these for views, he's still putting the money back into something good, so curious why it would be bad. His philanthropy has been criticized for not addressing the root causes of inequality in society. In response, Mr. Beast claimed that he does not profit from Beast philanthropy or its videos, and that all revenue goes towards charity. He also stressed the importance of the government's role in solving issues of this matter, which I quite agree. If you have an issue with Mr. Beast, and you give a charity $5 or $1 at your local grocery store, what are you doing to help the government's role in these issues? I think you are accountable for all these problems itself. You horrible person, you. Just kidding. Anyway, most of his work is vague, I'm talking Shetty again, and general to make it more relatable. To be a life coach, you don't need a degree. Many who go for these gurus have mental health issues like depression, pathology, and so forth, which should be dealt with qualified mental health professionals, not just Pinterest posts to make you get through the day. Journalist John McDermott, who says he was commissioned to write a profile for Esquire, alleges that he dug up more than a few inconsistencies in Shetty's claims, particularly in what he was said about his religious backstory. McDermott shared his findings in an investigation published in The Guardian. Shetty hasn't addressed these allegations yet and continued to post regularly on social media pages. More allegations have shown he has plagiarized his posts as well, and his quotes. After Arbor's video, I think in 2019, over 100 such posts were removed from Shetty's social media, as he started attributing quotes to the original sources. Good job, Monk. He'd have the quote replaced with the original author with his own name. It's quite shady and Shetty-like. Jay Shetty runs a meditation startup valued at $2 billion. His official website said that during his school years, he spent vacations living with monks in India, immersing himself in their wisdom and teachings, sort of like Ace Ventura. However, the Guardian report claims that the 36-year-old falsely claimed to have spent 3 years in a temple in India. After graduating, Shetty forgoes a life of material success to live as a monk himself, said the report. 3 years later, he has another revelation. His purpose in life is not to live the humble life of a monk, but to use his premarital skills to share wisdom with the world, such as copying and pasting quotes and putting his name on them. Thus begins his transformation into a public self-help personality, and a swift rise to fame. Shetty's success is largely predicted on the rags to riches story, it is said. Questioning Jay Shetty's story, the report added, both people close to Shetty have questioned whether his conversion to a life of monkhood was quite so dramatic. Much of Shetty's spiritual education took place not in India, but in Watford, an orbital town outside northwest London, they say. He was there not because of spiritual discovery in college, but because he grew up in the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Sounds like a fun word. Anyway, internet celebrity Nicole Arbor had made a video calling out Shetty for plagiarizing many of his quotes from existing celebrities, basically calling him a fake. She said, "I don't like it when people trick people," in her video uploaded to Facebook, in which she exposed Shetty. "He's foolish, and he's 100% stole everything that his career is based on," she said. To prove her point, she pointed out the apparent original sources of some of Shetty's viral quotes, such as this one. "A relationship without trust is like a car without gas. You can stay in it all you want, but it won't go anywhere." This is actually a quote by Michael J. Herbert. I wonder how Herbert feels about that. Here's another one that Arbor pointed out. "Most people never start because they don't want to be seen, starting from the bottom. Don't be most people. Want to start with me?" This was posted by an entrepreneur called Anel Escaldes on Facebook. A few days later, it was on Shetty's wall as well. Interestingly, he has many of his hours spent on Pinterest boards finding interesting quotes. Another quote, interestingly, is from, I think, a friend of Jay Shetty's. "Do what you did at the start of your relationship, and there won't be a finish." This was by Tony Robbins. "You go Shetty." Jay Shetty, vaunted association with ISKCON, a Hindu religious organization, has also raised eyebrows in the recent reports on social media. The movement has a well-documented history of controversies, such as many religious groups out there, such as Catholics and little boys and so forth, including accusations of abuse, which makes his long-term involvement with them all the more interesting and questionable. Even though he has distanced himself more recently, it's still interesting to have those teachings as well. ISKCON controversy in the 1990s faced accusation of child abuse, and its leaders acknowledged physical, emotional, and sexual abuse of children who were sent to live in rural communities, boarding schools in the US and India in the 70s and 80s. Shameful. Also in 1976, a case, People v. Murphy, a criminal trial court in Queens County, New York, held that the president of a ISKCON temple for the crime of unlawful imprisonment in the first degree. Although the parents of the two members claimed that the church had allegedly imprisoned their children through brainwashing, Justice at the time dismissed the criminal charges on the basis that the two members had freely followed the tenets of their own chosen faith. That's a way to put it. In 1984 case, George vs. International Society for Krishna of California, a lawsuit led the lengthy appeals resulting in mixed judgment. The two defendants, a mother and a daughter, accused the temple of kidnapping Robin via brainwashing and later lying to her parents about her whereabouts. That's where they get you. It's like Scientology. The British daily newspaper also questioned Mr. Shetty's academic qualifications, pointing out discrepancies in his resume, including a degree from business school that does not offer the claimed course that he took. The Guardian report highlights inconsistencies in Shetty's account, noting that he provided varying ages, 18, 20, and 21, to different news sources regarding when he attended the transformative lecture. The monk Das informed the British Daily that the lecture occurred in 2007 when Shetty would have been just 19 years old. Jay Shetty has not directly addressed these accusations. However, following the report, Mr. Shetty has reportedly directed his team to attributing content properly, deleted a number of posts, and hire a crisis PR firm for himself. In a 2011 post, he mentioned returning from almost 4 months in India before engaging in activities at London City's university, and distributing flyers and books on the streets all over the UK and enjoying festivals as well. However, some of his former associates said that he primarily stayed at his estate near London, called a long word manor rather than in India City, Mumbai. So, what do you think of Gurus itself? What do you think of Jay Shetty? I find these quite interesting. I like some of his teachings, or some of his quotes that he grabs from Pinterest. They're quite motivational for the end of the day. Other gurus I find quite annoying, like Gary Vee. Tony Robbins is alright in my book, but curious of what you think of gurus. What do you think of Jay Shetty? Do you like his work? What do you think of the accusations? I find it interesting that he has this huge mansion for the monk lifestyle. It's sort of like Joel Osteen with his mega mansion and so forth. If you pay money, then you have, it's okay to live your life in a certain manner. Anyway, your thoughts please down below. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the subs. Have a great one. Bye.